Temper tantrum train wreck Donald Trump is officially going off the rails. You know, I'm a guy who grew up with two ladies, no father, no brother, and I get fairly upset at bullying to begin with, but when all you can do is bully a female, threaten a woman with some degree of physical harm, that's crossing a line in so many ways. And that's where we're at in this breaking story with regards to Donald Trump and what he just said, what he just did as the guy running for the president of the United States just said in this breaking story about Liz Cheney simply because she's supporting Kamala Harris. And we always need to be reminded and support in context who this guy is and also who she is. Take a listen.
Conservative former Republican lawmaker, former Congresswoman Liz Cheney of Wyoming, who joins us. Now, Congresswoman, thank you so much for joining us. We have a lot to get to.
Jake, I think what we just watched is, you know, what it looks like when someone has got to go through just unbelievable contortions to try to find a way to defend the person that you know, J.D. Vance himself called America's Hitler.
Kamala is campaigning with Muslim-hating warmonger Liz Cheney, who wants to invade practically every Muslim country on the planet. And let me tell you, the Muslims of our country, they see it and they know it. Her father was responsible for invading the Middle East, killing millions of Arabs, millions.
You know, look, attack me, that's fine. You can do that all you want. But the Trump campaign, Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, they absolutely understand how damaging it is for the American people to see all of these unprecedented levels of senior officials from the Trump administration telling the American people that Donald Trump is unfit. And so, you know, they concoct these things that are completely divorced from any connection to the truth. You know, they know that at his core, Donald Trump, he really has no conscience. They know that he's erratic. They know that he's chaotic. They know that he's cruel. And they're telling the American people that. And so it does take a lot of contortions and a real desperation to try to convince people that they shouldn't listen to those who know Donald Trump best. And so J.D. Vance and Donald Trump think that the right solution there is to go in and reward Putin for what he's done, reward all of those adversaries for what they've done, rather than stand with our allies. So I think that what you saw is a mix of desperation and naivete, and just a really, you know, an attempt to do the best I think he can figure out how to do to convince the American people not to believe what they know to be true about Donald Trump. And I think his desperation is clearly showing.
You may not have been a fan of Liz Cheney prior to this election cycle, but discord or disagreement is one thing. Threatening someone's life is another. And this is what Donald Trump just said about and to Liz Cheney in this breaking story. Have a listen.
And I don't blame him for sticking with his daughter, but his daughter's a very dumb individual, very dumb. She's a radical war hawk. Let's put her with a rifle standing there with 9 barrels shooting at her, okay? Let's see how she feels about it. You know, when the guns are trained on her face.
Cheney went on to respond with, "This is how dictators destroy free nations. They threaten those who speak against them with death." That is the person running for the presidency of this country speaking about a former senator. Just let that sink in for a few minutes. Seriously. Then pass this on, share it with everyone, and go out and make sure you vote along with every single person that you know. Because if you think for 1 second that Donald Trump wouldn't do and or say and or threaten, that very statement, guns trained on your face, to or toward anyone in this country who would oppose him or dislike him, just take a look at the long list of people that he had and got rid of and or denigrated verbally when they didn't pat him on his orange head and tell him he was fabulous over the last 8 years. Folks, vote Harris Walls, share this with everyone you know, And while I may sound on occasion like I'm booing, trust me, like Obama, don't boo, vote.